Hi folks, welcome back. So far we have seen what is an automation testing, what all the different types of tools available in the market, what each tool supports, what kind of programming languages each tool supports, and what all the pros and cons. It doesn't end there. The major achievement of automation testing is to yield the best results. In order to yield the best results, you should be very much keen in selecting the right tool for your project. For example, if you want to shine in your career, you should be very keen, you should be very sensible in choosing the course you study. Same way, you should be very sensible in choosing the right automation tool for your product. So that plays an important role in achieving best results. So let's see in this section how to choose the right automation tool, what all the strategies to choose your right tool. First, you should know what all the different types of tools available in the market. We have seen few in our earlier lecture. So first one is open source tool. We have learned about this. Open source is nothing but which is free of cost, and the source code is available for modification as well. The user can directly download the application, install the application, and they can start working on it. The next one is commercial tool. We've also seen about this. Commercial tool is nothing but it is owned by a particular company. For example, Quick Test Professional by HP or LoadRunner by HP. You have to buy these product, you have to buy the licensed version of these product from HP. So this is called as commercial tool, pay and use. Next one is custom tool. Custom tool is nothing but building your own automation tool for your project. This custom tool will come into picture when none of the open source or commercial tools does not support your project's requirement. For example, if your project is a very complicated one, none of the open source tool or the commercial tool can support your requirement or support your functionality to automate. In that case, you will be building your own custom tool. Let me give you an example which we have done on our own organization. I worked on an organization where we deal with Visa and MasterCard for payments and clearing files. What happens is we have to prepare a file with a lot of transactions manually using the MasterCard application, and we will send it to MasterCard for clearing. That file will have account number, transaction, amount, currency, country, and all the information for a particular transaction. So what we have to do is we have to open the MasterCard application and we have to key in each and every details, and then we have to prepare a file and extract it in a particular format, and we have to send it to MasterCard. This is a time-taking process, and also there will be one person can access that application at a time. So what we thought is we want to automate this process. None of the tool will support this kind of process, right? So what we did is we took an Excel macro, we wrote VB script, and we entered all the field there, and we extracted the file in the final format given by MasterCard. So we automated this whole functionality using an Excel macro. So in that case, this Excel macro can be a shared one and every person can access them at the same time. We don't want to wait for that application, right? So this saves a lot of cost as well as a lot of time as well as a lot of effort. So this kind of automation is called as custom tool automation, automating or preparing your own custom tool. So next one, in order to do the next steps, like you said that there are a lot of tools available in the market, I'm okay with it. Now I'm going to automate my application. So there is a stage called feasibility analysis or automation feasibility analysis in STLC, your testing life cycle. So in that plays an important role in telling whether your application can be automatable or not. This feasibility analysis will say whether your application is qualified for automation or not. So what are the factors that we do during our feasibility analysis phases? First, we should check on the application's stability, whether your application is stable enough, whether your application is consistent and it does not change frequently, particularly the application's logic does not change frequently, then your application is qualified for automation. Because if your application keeps on changing, it is difficult for us to automate. And the second one is I spent 2 hours to create 20 automation scripts and I run it to complete an automation on particular functionality or application, and later if the logic of the application changed, the reusability of the scripts will also go down. All the 20 scripts will go waste. So the 2 hours time I spent for preparing that test script goes waste. In that 2 hours of time, I can manually even test the application. So as and when your stability of the application is reduced, your reusability of test scripts will also be reduced. So you have to consider these two features. And the next one is technical feasibility and environment supported. So your application's language, your application's database connectivity, whether it all supports the automation tool right now available in the market. So you have to do a detailed study on that technical part. And the next one is size. Your application size plays an important role. When it comes to commercial tools, I believe that commercial products will definitely help in application size. If your application size is little huge, the commercial product vendors will extend the features. But whereas when it comes to open source tool, every tool will has its own limitations and nothing comes for free. Your application will, if it is of huge size, the open source tool will definitely have some kind of restrictions. So you have to be sure whether your application size is okay so that your application can be automated. So that is an important feature which we will study during this feasibility analysis phase. Reusability of automation scripts we have spoke earlier. So now though I've completed the feasibility analysis phase and my application is qualified for automation testing. It says yes, you can automate your application. The next step is to select the right tool. So how you select the right tool for your application? So first one is you should know what kind of automation testing you want to do for your application. Whether you need to you are looking out for a tool which does performance testing for your application, or you're looking out for a tool to do functional testing. So what kind of automation tool you're looking out? What is your requirement? You have to be very clear in your requirement. That is the first step. Next one is, of course, cost. Any organization will always look upon the cost, whether it is okay to spend this much cost on this particular tool. So you have to be very sure on the cost part as well, whether you need to go for open source tool, whether you need to go for a commercial tool, or whether you're doing your own tool, and how much it costs for the resources when you're doing your own custom tool. So you have to be very well prepared for the cost part. So the third one is the tool should have record and playback option. Record and playback option is an important option because when you're going to present your product to any of the stakeholders, you need to show the entire flow of the application. That can be, you cannot hold a mobile phone in your hand and you cannot click each and every icon to show how it is traversing. You can put a PPT where you can show this record and playback. You can record the application's navigation and you can play it back on a bigger screen to give the view for the other stakeholders. So this record and playback option is much appreciated one in any automation tool. So you have to look for that one. And the next one is framework. Now you're ready with your automation tool, what kind of automation tool you're going to use. So you should also decide on the framework. What kind of framework you're going to use in your tool. So while deciding this framework, whether your application and this framework goes well. For particular application, you can do particular framework. For a behavior driven application, you cannot do data driven framework. You can do behavior driven framework only. So you have to correlate both your application and the framework you're going to decide which suits the best. So the next one is good reporting structure. Everybody looks out for the reporting structure in any tool because it's difficult for the individual to pull out each and every status of a particular test script. So your automation tool should have best reporting structure and management capability. You should also look for that. For example, if you're going for a commercial tool, you're spending hefty amount and you will definitely expect everything out of it. So you should specifically look for this reporting structure as well and the test management expertise in your tool as well, so that you can extract the report or data as and when it is required. You need not have to sit and do everything manually. How many script passed, how many script is failed, what all the reasons. So you do not have to do it manually. You can directly easily extract them as and when it is needed. So that one also you have to check while you are selecting a tool. Especially you are going for a commercial tool, you should always check whether this option is there, because you're spending. If open source tool, I believe we have seen what all the open source tool available, and I believe none of the open source tool has this kind of management capability, because as I told you earlier and again, nothing comes for free, and definitely everything will never comes for free. So if you need all these features, if you should go for a commercial tool, and you should check whether these features are there or not if you're going for a commercial tool. So these are the important steps while selecting a particular tool for your product or organization. Thank you, all the best, and stay tuned for the upcoming lectures.